Good morning, friends. Woof. I'm glad to see most of you got my note about moving it to 9. I just felt like we needed a little extra sleep this morning. What do you feel? I could have probably done another half an hour, honestly, but I'm here. Good morning. Hi, Sierra. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Anna. Good morning, Janine. Yeah, I mean, if I could do this in bed properly, I would be doing that. Hi, Janelle. Good morning, Plant Geek. Hi, Jackie. Good morning, Holly. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Denise. Good morning. Good morning, Gypsy Girl. Hi, hi, Lisa. Hi, Kate. Jackie says, woke up on time. Man, I was like in the middle of like a dream, and oof, it was intense. How are you guys? Thank you. How are you? Yesterday was intense. Today's actually the 4th of July, so I know a lot of people aren't working today. Um, you'll not hear me saying Happy Independence Day here today. That's just not a thing. It never has been a thing for me, but it's especially not anymore. Um, but holidays are important in that they are pre-established moments collective of collective energy that agrees with itself. You know what I mean? So on any particular holiday, there's going to be a spike in energy because everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are in alignment of a very similar energy. So there is that. Um, Janelle says going outside to get a treat to touch my face. Seen those videos? I have. I saw those TikToks where they ask the tree if you can hear me touch my shoulder or touch my face. Let me know how it goes. I'm mildly skeptical on that one because they never show the full tree. But I mean, I believe the trees hear you, of course. Good morning, Nikki. Hmm. Well, I'm going to tell you about my yesterday, and then you can tell me about your yesterday because yesterday's energy was, oof, so interesting. So, if you guys didn't already do it, I highly recommend that you do the perfect day exercise. I sent it to you guys in the email that I sent out on Saturday morning. And your perfect day exercise is basically just really quick free writing of your perfect day from opening your eyes to closing your eyes and just going really, really fast, making sure that you're not doing anything that is like because you need to do something for somebody else, being extra productive or things like that. Just like all of the most delicious things you can think of. Um, that was your exercise on Saturday. Did anybody do that? Did anybody do their perfect day exercise? Because Sunday, which was yesterday, um, was a interesting mix of perfect day stuff and some of the wackest energy I've been in a minute. It felt really different yesterday. I did TikTok about it, but there was this buzzing in my left foot that kept happening earlier in the day. And at first I thought that there was like a phone in the bed and that's what it was, but it wasn't the phone. It was just an internal in my foot, like bzzz, bzzz, like that. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Um, and then there was just this feeling of like there would be these sudden waves of like anxiety or like just very uncomfortable, squirmy type of feelings, like jump out of your skin type of feelings, and then a feeling of being disconnected from the world almost, like just being like in a bubble. And that pregnant pause feeling, like suspension, like something's about to happen. I had so many people say to me yesterday, something's about to happen. And I really do agree that we are about to make something happen tomorrow. So Janelle says it was more difficult than expected to write about a perfect day. What did you find difficult about it? I'm curious. Pam says I've had the buzzy foot thing. I'm so glad I made a TikTok about it because I have never experienced the buzzy foot thing, but a few people said that they had felt that before. It made me feel a little less crazy. But all that to say, we got a nudge to get our butts outside and we went into the woods and that helped so much. So it's kind of obvious, but if you if you're feeling that way, definitely get outside if you can. It helps a lot. Janelle says finding the words. I just have the feelings words are hard. So this is a good thing to note. So if you're doing that perfect day exercise and you find it difficult because you can't find the words, but you already have the feelings, consider the exercise complete. Okay? If you are able to locate the feelings, that is the most important thing. So don't worry about the words if the words aren't coming. Or if you want to reframe it a little bit, instead of describing your perfect day, if you already have the feelings, just jot down what those feelings are so you can jump back into them at any time, or so you can create pockets of those feelings in your day. Do you see what I'm saying? Hey, Nicole. But my normalized magic members, I definitely want you to feel into doing that exercise. Tomorrow is going to be our meeting instead of Wednesday because I want us to be able to really harness this energy for tomorrow together instead of waiting until Wednesday. So, normalized magic people, coffee and coaching is Tuesday instead of Wednesday, same time. So, uh, what am I talking about? Yeah. So just make sure you know that. I will definitely send out another email and I'll put it on the website for us. But I just wanted to remind you about that. Like Goddess Tarot, what's happening here? I turned on my speaker and was connected to this live. All I heard was good morning. Hi, Sierra. That's my name. Are you kidding me? That's so crazy. Oh, well, good morning and welcome. And hi, Charmed Cottage. Welcome, welcome. Amanda says, it's like how you've described manifesting. What feelings do you want? Exactly. There's no wrong way. Some people are not the detail word type of people, and that's totally fine. Um, Tiffany says, I've had the buzzy foot thing since the new moon channeling Tuesday. I was able to visualize and feel it more than write also. So that's a thing. So if you are a visualizer as opposed to a writer downer, don't worry about that. That's fine. You can still do the exercise because as long as you feel it, you got it. Hi, Jacinda. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Nicole. All right. So if you're new to here, welcome. I'm glad that you made it over. We have a really we have a momentous week ahead of us and we're in it already. We're in that energy. Um so much flowing to me since the new moon channeling. I need to see I need to that's actually on my list of things to do to see what time it translates to for here. That CERN is turning on the Hadron Collider. Um, We're meeting tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning to connect our energies and really this one. Okay, 9 a.m. Perfect. Oh my god, how perfect is that, Janelle? That it's 9 a.m. We'll be meeting. So we'll be ready. So, like I said, guys, tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. We'll spend the first half of the meeting getting our shit together, and then we will be laser focusing on the creating that timeline shift for ourselves. Um, if you didn't get that, guys, 9 a.m. is the translation of time. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, right? Oof. So for those asking about my tattoo, this one here, it is the tree language symbol. So this is tree language for Anam Cara. And Anam Cara is um, the concept of soul friends and people who you meet who become home for you and family for you. And me and my best friend have that tattoo together. Wait, hold on. Janelle is not Eastern Standard Time. Janelle's 10. Um, normalized magic people. Do you want to do it a little later so that we are definitely in the correct time? I think we should do that. So if it pops at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, why don't we start at 9:30? Does that sound good for you guys? I think we should definitely be all together when it turns on. I think that's very important. So 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I forget Janelle's in Missouri. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 Central. Okay, let me write that down. So we're doing 9:30 tomorrow. 9:30 for coffee and coaching, special edition, guys. Okay. That actually works really well for me. It gives me a chance to get the kids to camp and everything and get back in here. Ooh, we could do some magic tomorrow. I'm excited. All right. Well, what else do I wanted to tell you this morning? I don't know, dude. It just feels weird anymore. I feel so many things have happened this weekend. Um, I had a really crazy weekend and just really crazy. You know what? It's been crazy since the new moon channeling. Was the new moon channeling last Tuesday? Is that right? Just this past Tuesday? Amanda's going to be at the spa. That sounds fine to me. Rosa says I was listening to the channeling again and totally forgot today was Monday. Ooh, okay. So yeah, it was last Tuesday. That's crazy to me. Um, I also got my period yesterday. Forgot to tell you that, which is not the time I usually get it. It's kind of early. I'm more towards the full moon, I think. That channeling was intense. If you missed the channeling, you can go watch it. It's on my YouTube. It's the new moon and Cancer channeling. I highly recommend that you do watch that because it has a lot of specific information about manifesting for tomorrow in that channeling, and a pretty intense upgrade at the end. So just know that if you watch it, it has definitely created some disruptive waves around here, that were much needed, but not subtle. Definitely not subtle. It's pretty fucking intense. All right, so cool. That was on Tuesday, and like a week later, we're jumping through this portal tomorrow. Um, wow. All right then. All right then, my friends. You want some smudgies? Let's do that, and then we'll get to our cards. We have a lot of cards to get to today, actually. All right. Here's some smudgies for you, and smudgies for you. Smudgies for me. All right. So exciting. Let's get to it. If you're new, we're about to do the part of Coffee and Magic where we get some messages. We are going to obviously be getting messages from this, but we also have a few decks that want to be here, and I'm not sure what I'm pulling from, but I'm just going to show them to you so you can start feeling into them. We have the Sacred Rebels, Alana Fairchild, and we have another Alana deck, the Isis Oracle. Okay, we may end up pulling from both of them. I don't know, but these are here anchoring it down on either side. Whew. All right. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Sarah says, I've had some crazy energy flowing the last few weeks, shed them things that no longer serve me, and the energies forced me to revalidate things around me. Big change shift happening for sure. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel right now. Like I feel like I felt like in my mind, for me, I felt like I had already done those things. And then like this past week kind of came through and was like, hi, and here's this that you were not seeing clearly. I'm going to make it very clear and just be super brutal about it. And that's how we've been rolling. But I feel very fortified in that. Like I'm ready for that change. I'm very ready for that change. I'm living in that change. So sometimes decks do disappear, Danny. That happens to me quite frequently. Yeah. I feel like collectively, like you know, I was talking to Jid about this, I think yesterday or the day before, I don't know, but there was a little bit of a mistake made, don't you think? Like there was a mistake that was made. Like people did not people assumed that we would continue to be complacent, that we would continue to play games, that we would continue to like just kind of sit back and be like, "Oh, I have no idea." And did not take into account the amount of people who are like just on the edge of completely waking up and how the powers that be, the decisions that they've made over the past few weeks have basically forced awake millions of people. Um, and we're all like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. And it's really causing destability. And tomorrow is going to be a really big day, not only just because this is a great opportunity for you to actually put some energy into manifesting for yourself, but also because as you do that, as you pull in for your own joy and your own sovereignty and disconnect from that matrix energy, you completely fuck up that game. Like, I hope you understand that, guys. Like, you playing your game means you're not playing their game. And they're hoping that they do all this, like, this funny business with the energy and, like, get people back into their timeline and get us all confused again and get us all scared. Like, oh, what's going to happen? It's like, no, I'm not scared about what's going to happen. Because, like in the channeling, remember in the channeling, somebody asked the question, will the fall of patriarchy happen during my lifetime? And Ashtar was like, let's rephrase that. I have a question for you. Will you cause the fall of patriarchy in your lifetime? Is that what you're going to do? Because if so, then absolutely. It's not a sit back and wait and see what happens, guys. We're driving. We're not here to observe what may or may not occur. We're not watching, we're doing. We're the ones. And I think that there is an extreme miscalculation, which honestly seems like a man thing to do, to completely underestimate the women around them, right? And that's going to be a massive tactical mistake on their part. And I feel committed to making sure that that is true. And I know you all feel the same way, right? So tomorrow is the day and it's going to be wild. And I want to tell you one more thing, actually, because before we get to this, and this is going to be the weirdest thing I've ever said on a live for me, because something about me, which, is a neutral feeling on my part at this point, like I'm not really receiving judgment for it, but I've never felt connected to the government of this country, and I've always felt that like I didn't want to add my energy into it by voting for anything. And I know a lot of people like me who don't feel like their vote is necessary and don't really want to put energy into the system. This is going to be the year that I'm voting for every goddamn thing I possibly can, and I'm going to tell you why. I don't agree with this system at all. However, this system has to crash to the ground. And in order for that to happen, we need to have a little bit of breathing room to do our work, to do our magic, right? And if all of us that feel this way, that are just like, oh, I don't know. And I know some people who voted all the time, and this year they're like, maybe I'm not going to because like look what good it does. I don't think so. Change happens in shifts and transitions. It doesn't happen overnight with everything completely changing. We're going to have to exist in a middle ground with lots of overlaps for a minute. And with that being said, does it not make sense to you to make sure that middle ground is the least fascist middle ground that we can possibly muster up? I don't know about you, but as a minority queer woman with two little brown boys, I would really love to not have to worry about that particular issue in addition to everything else as I'm working my magic to like take down all of this, right? So I definitely want to put that out to you if you feel that same way. If you have felt that way that like who cares about voting? I feel like this is the year, this is your year that it may be the most important year ever for like us to turn up in droves to all of the polls and just be like, "Voom, absolutely not." And it's not saying that you're like, well, I now support the Democratic Party. I'm a Democrat. I'm this like this. That's not. It's not about party systems. It's about let's get the worst people off the platform so that we have a little bit of fucking oxygen to do what we need to do. That's all. So I wanted to put that out there for you. All right, let's get into the cards. Um, oof, neck. Today we are going to be doing um, creatures, I guess. That's interesting. Are these creatures? It's been a while since we've had a coffee magic like this or a sensory card pull like this where I'm like doing one of these. All right, so we're doing mythical creatures, like myth creatures. Okay, so we've got Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, and the Chupacabra. So who are you feeling this morning? Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. What are you feeling this morning? I don't even know what to call these. What is that mythical? What would you call it? I don't know. Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. Who are you feeling this morning? I'm shuffling. Chupacabra. Here. Chupa. Chupacabra. I'll write it here too. I wrote it there. Chupacabra. Okay. But you don't have to worry about like which one means something or doesn't mean something. Just go with the one that you're like, what? Like go with the one that makes you have a reaction, okay? Um Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. And I'm pulling from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. Mm. My coffee's extra good this morning. Yeah, if it made you go, what? Yeah, go for it. All right, let's do this. All right, so we're starting with Bigfoot. Okay, if you're just joining, we're about to start the sensory card pulls, and you are choosing from Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or the Chupacabra. And I would also like you to take a moment to make sure that you are signed up for my email list. If you did not get an email last night telling you about the time change, make sure you go on my profile and sign up for that because that is how I'm going to communicate the times of things about things. So make sure you get on there. I don't spam at all, right? But When I change times for things and like for tomorrow's meeting, make sure you're on that list because it's the most reliable way of getting that information. Okay. All right. So we're starting, it's Bigfoot, Loch Ness, Chupacabra. And we're starting with Bigfoot. Are all of my Bigfoot people ready? Okay. You ready for this one? Okay. Let me just take a sip of this. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So first, we have the swan, and the swan came through on Friday as well. Remember that? So you got the swan, you've got disruption, and we've got the frog. It's been a second, right, since you've had the frog. Maybe not that long, but a minute. So the swan, disruption, and the frog. Let's talk about the swan first. I'm also curious for those of you who pulled or who chose Bigfoot. Did you um, Did you also get the swan last time? I'm curious if you did. So, anytime the swan comes, you're going to hear me talk about the ugly duckling story. And this is the story, of course, about the little swan gosling who is growing up amongst little ducks and thinks he's ugly and gets made fun of and just really doesn't fit in until one day he grows up and realizes that he's not a duck, he's a swan. It's you. It's you guys. It's swan time. We've all transformed into our true form, into the form we were always were, which is a swan. We're not ducks. And so now we can just stop trying to be ducks because our necks are much longer and we are bigger and we're very, very different, right? So this is just a reminder of that. You are a swan, not a duck. So let go of that feeling that you need to be different than who you are, because you do not. What needs to happen now is a complete surrender to the fact that you are a swan. So you can go do swan things and feel really good about them. Okay. So you've got that happening here. But what else is happening? Because there's a lot of other things happening in your life right now that are, let's say, at the very least, disruptive. Why? Well, because it's the energy, okay? And this is kind of we've been going through these different like phases, like in a car wash almost, right? Like, the first phase is just like kind of getting off the mud off of everything. And second phase is like a second phase doing that, like doing some buffing. Like we're just going through different phases of removing all the crap. And the thing is, some of us have been under the understanding um, that some of the layers are actually supposed to be there. We're actually part of the way we are supposed to be. And the past week, especially, has probably shown you that a few aspects of your life that you thought were the way they were supposed to be are actually not. They're not in alignment with what you are actively trying to manifest. Those are the things that are holding you back now. And the realization of that is very disruptive. Okay? And I don't want to make light of that because it's if we're talking a 1 to 10 level disruption, this is a 10 level disruption. You may not feel it as a 10, and the only reason you don't feel it as a 10 is because you've already been living at an 8. So like 2 clicks more is kind of like, all right, like whatever. But you need to know that it is a 10 and it's really intense. Give yourself some grace as you navigate this part of your life and the removal of things that are truly weighing you down and no longer serving you. These are relationships, all kinds. These are attachments to objects, okay? Attachments to objects and places. There's a necessity for us to receive flow, right? And I want to tell you, this is not just for Bigfoot people. This part I'm going to say. Do you know what the biggest difference between ascended energy and like third dimensional energy? Do you know what the biggest difference really is? When you're in the ascended energy, you derive your joy from connection to nature and from connection to others and from connection to self. Okay. When you are in that third dimensional energy, you don't have the ability to recognize that that is where true connection is. And so instead, you proxy that connection with physical objects, with money, with status. And then you are seeking to find that joy and completion and belonging through attachment to those physical things. Okay. Your joy comes from connection, not to objects, not to collecting money. That's not where your joy is coming from. And understanding that difference releases you from being stagnant and from being stuck in one place because you know, right? In true Cancer energy, you know that you bring your home with you. And you know that no matter where you live, or what kind of car you're driving, or what items you have available to you, the magic and joy of connection are always available to you because they're within you. They're connection towards to other people and connection to nature around you. So it's a big difference and it's a shift, but it frees you and it allows you to have exponential joy. Okay. So the frog is here just to remind you of that. You do not need to receive your joy, belonging, and love from physical objects. Okay? So that is your um, Bigfoot message for this morning. The next one, and if you're new to Coffee and Magic, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. These are collective, but you choose one of three things, and then I pull from this deck and get you a message for your day. You missed the first one if you just popped in, but that's okay. Our second is the Loch Ness Monster, and then we have the Chupacabra. So maybe pick between the two of those. Do you feel Loch Ness, or do you feel Chupacabra, or do you just want to sit and listen to both? And I always recommend you listen to all of them because there's always some information in there. Okay, so I'm shuffling. Did that hit for you guys? Did that hit for you, Bigfoot friends? Hi, Emily. Hi, Catherine. You are welcome. And a reminder, if you need to book a private session with me, you can do that by following the link in my profile and clicking on Cosmic Concierge. All right. We are intense this morning. So that's not shocking given the energy, you know? All right. So this is going to be the reading for Loch Ness Monster. You're choosing now, because there's only two left, between Loch Ness Monster and the Chupacabra. What are you feeling most resonant with? What makes you go, huh? Choose that one, but listen to all. And just drop your selection into the comments. And here we go. All right. So this is, again, the Loch Ness Monster. Are you ready? Okay. So burden, truth, and protection. We're very chill this morning. My Loch Ness friends, super chill, no big deal. Um, in this deck, I think there's like 4 different types of cards that you can get, and these are the sacred journey markers. These ones are, and you got 3 of them, and the sacred journey markers are like they're like forks in the road. Like, do I turn left or do I turn right? They're like, these are choice points, okay? Yes. Oof. Okay. So let's talk about it. Where do we start? Let's start with these two. The truth and the burden. Okay? Now, for my Loch Ness people, I want to take a minute to really affirm and validate for you how hard a certain situation has been. I think that it's safe to say you're the type of person who minimizes how heavy something is for you because you're so busy providing bandwidth for other people and you feel so deeply, and it is very uncomfortable for you. And that's what I'm saying. It's uncomfortable for you to witness others' disappointment or sadness, or to be around somebody who is uncomfortable if you can do anything at all about it to decrease their discomfort. So that has created the perfect storm for you at this time of choosing yourself to feel heavily burdened by that choice, because it's creating around you the energy that you have tried so hard in your life to not foster. Okay. If you've spent most of your life being the person in your circles of friends, the person in your family who is simultaneously like the whipping boy, but also the emotional support person, it's like you're the one everybody trashes and you're the one everybody needs to be okay. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? You're the one everybody trashes, and you're the one everybody needs to be okay. Is that you? Are you that person? This message is for you, even if you did not pick the Loch Ness Monster, because this is real fucking important that you get this today. Okay? This whipping boy, emotional support person situation is the most toxic, toxic, life killing, soul destroying, absolute ridiculous waste of your energy that you could possibly find yourself in for the kind of person you are. Okay? That's not your fault. That's not a mistake, and it's not a problem. Those of you who find yourself in that situation, it's because you were born into this world with a very large energy field. You are drawn here to me because that's me as well. We were born into families with people who have very small energy fields. Okay. So, what naturally happens is as we emerge into these families of very small energy fields, they immediately gravitate towards our large energy fields and pile on. And because we are babies, right? And because we want to please our parents and we come in with such big open energy and we feel everything, we immediately take the responsibility that's given to us to make everything better for everybody else. Okay? And I want to reiterate, this is not your fault and it's not a mistake. It's just how energy has happened. And you've learned a lot through the process of exactly whatever it is you went through with that. But I'm here to tell you that that is now done. You are actually not helping your family, your friends, your community by allowing them to continue to suck your energy in order to be moderately okay. And that's being generous. Because let me ask you this. In all of your time of being both the whipping boy and the emotional support person for your various groups of people, have they ever made any improvements in their life based off of the assistance that you've given them? Have they changed? Have they grown? Have they recognized? Have you gotten a thank you? Has anyone ever said to you, you need to be here because it feels so much better when you're here, but never ask you where you feel best? Have you ever had that? Oh, wait. So, what are we doing? What is it that is making it so hard for you to fully recognize that this is not serving you anymore? Okay. So there's that for everybody. Enjoy. But here there's more because that was just one of the cards, okay? This is kind of a packed one because we're kind of at a time where we don't have time to not take care of this, okay? And I want to reiterate for you, there is nothing wrong with you, okay? You didn't make any mistakes with this. This is what happened. We don't have to go through it. We don't even have to go back and like dig into everything and like stare it in the face and do like we don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You know you have your trauma, just like I know I have mine. There are aspects of your story though, and we're going to call that it's your story. There are aspects of your story that need to be told, right? They need some oxygen. And not so that you can get some pity and empathy from others around you. No, it's because there are so many people like you out there quietly also being the whipping boy and the emotional support person for their families and their friends, and they don't know that. But if you start talking, they're going to hear you. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a burden within that too, because you're being asked to tell the truth. And I'm going to promise you that if you're with me so far and all of this has resonated, sometimes you don't even know what the fucking truth is, right? You don't know because you've heard probably all of your life that you're over emotional and histrionic. You overreact to things. We keep you out of the loop because we can't handle like how off the hook you fly. You're too much, you need to calm down. All of these things, right, have contributed to you not trusting your own fucking intuition and have probably gaslit you into not even knowing what your own story is because you're so confused all the time. Because every time you say, I think this happened to me, they're all like, what are you talking about? We would never do that. Don't worry about it. Your truth is your truth. Everybody's truth is their truth, honestly. And there is no like there's never going to be a moment for that. If you feel it and you've lived in a way that that's how it's affected you, it's your fucking truth. Get out of here, right? It's yours. Stand in that. I give you permission to stand in that and to say, this is me and this is what has happened. And if you don't agree with it, you need to get out of here. Okay? Sovereign. Sovereign. Then the protection card, because obviously with all of this, you're going to be stirring up a lot of energy. But what does protection mean? It doesn't mean what you think it means. And I'm going to tell you that right now. You've been protecting yourself the old way. The old way doesn't let anybody in, right? Trusts nobody and probably dedicates most of your precious time and energy to the people who are, I want to say grandfathered in, but I've just recently learned that's a very toxic term. But you probably give your energy freely to those who do not actively earn it. Let me just put it that way. Okay. And then you think that you need to protect yourself from everybody else outside. Protecting in that way is very fear based, and we need to move protection out of the fear based arena entirely. Protection is boundaries, and it's loving yourself so fucking much that you would never, ever take disrespect. Mm-mm. You can't disrespect me. This is for you individually, that then translates into the collective. And if you don't believe it for yourself individually, you're not going to be able to assist the collective. Okay. So you need to love yourself so much that when somebody says something to you that is really fucking rude, you say, that's really fucking rude. Don't talk to me like that. And you can watch them have their meltdown. That's not your problem. If you tell somebody to stop hurting you and their response is, no, I'm going to keep doing it anyway, I think that they've told you all that you need to know, right? And you know what boundary you need to put. Protection is boundaries. Protection is enforcing boundaries. It's loving yourself so much that you will not allow disrespect. And that is what you need to know today, my Loch Ness people. Okay? Oof. Tell you what. All right. Let's see what the chupacabra has to say. I couldn't tell you what the chupacabra is, honestly. I don't really know. I feel like I remember years ago, like It was popular. It was like a thing running around like a little creature, I guess, but I don't really know. I don't know for sure. I don't know. So, we got this, right? We're here. All right. So that hit, huh? It hit for me too. Looking Loch Ness, just hiding in the middle there, being so cute, just being in the water. Okay. No problem. Jacinda says it's a goat eating creature. Oh. And then Anna says it's vampire lore in South America, drinks the blood of a livestock. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that sounds fun. That sounds that sounds like a fun one. Okay, so chupacabra. Chupacabra. It's the last one. If you're new here and like you haven't seen me before, hey, follow me. It's best to follow me on Instagram though, because I'll tell you a secret. It's not so secret. Ever since TikTok started the whole you can sponsor your posts and pay for posts, my shit doesn't go anywhere anymore. Like it does not pop up anywhere. It's very sad, but at the same time, you find me if you need to find me. So I do know that. That's the magic of it. But if you follow me on Instagram, it is easier. And if you don't want to follow me, that's fine. But definitely get on the email list so that you know when I'm live, know the times I'm live, and know what's going on. I'm here Mondays and Fridays. Mondays are usually 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, and Fridays are usually 10. But I do change that depending on energy because if my energy is not okay, I don't like to do the magic with you guys. Okay. All right, we're closing out this. We're closing this out, and like, we're not rushing out today because I don't have anywhere to go, and we have 2 decks sitting over here for collective reads. So stick around for that after we finish this. Okay, I mean, if you want to. All right, ready for the chupacabra one? Okay, we have this again. It's not shocking. Okay, and then we have the Merlin. And then we have this again. I would love to know how many of you also got the horse last time, which was Friday. Did you guys get the horse? If you picked a chupacabra? Oh, that's a capybara. That's not the chupacabra. They are not the same. Capybara, chupacabra, not the same. Oh, okay. All right. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna yell at you about this one. You know it. I'm not gonna like raise my voice, but I'm gonna say stuff. I'm gonna mom you about it. Um, I am a Cancer rising, so if you wanna be mommed, get over here. I will mom the fuck out of you. Okay. Um, like literally, the thing that I say all the time that like my kids are like the thing that my mom says the most is, "Have you had protein today?" And that was brought to my attention the other day, and I was like, how did that happen? How did I become that person that my catchphrase is, "Did you eat protein today?" But did you? Did you eat protein today? It's early, but make sure you get some. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this. We have the horse, Merlin, and disruption. This is like just this is just the energy though. Okay, like so. Well, let's rephrase that. Okay. The collective energy is in disruption. Your internal life situation is not actually in disruption. For those of you who picked the chupacabra, it's a little bit different than the one we just had, than the first one that was like a very specific situation. Your disruption is you're feeling collective. So I want to bring attention to that. Your disruption is not internal for you. This is you're feeling the collective, okay? And so when you start to feel that spinny feeling or like a heavy feeling or whatever, see what wave you can ride there because you're feeling the collective wave. So you may know this about yourself already that you are a pretty reliable barometer for collective energy upset. just like I am, right? And what does that mean? That means you have this amazing ability that when you feel fucked up, you need to ask, am I fucked up or is the collective having a fucked up moment? And then you get to kind of like pull that away from self a little bit and not be reactive in your own life and understand it's an energy moving through. What typically happens with this energy is that as long as you don't claim it, it moves through like weather. Okay. So if goes for all of you, honestly, if you are feeling collective energy, which I don't see at this point how you couldn't, some things are your life and some things are collective energy. And if it's collective energy, you need to not claim it. It needs to move through. What typically happens when you don't understand energy, right, is when you feel anything, you claim it and then it becomes yours. But if you already know that some of your energy is going to be for you and some of it's just collective, you can check before you claim. Don't claim other people's shit. You don't need to. You don't need to do that. We're not doing that. Okay, so just perform a quick check. Tiffany says protein is a stabilizer, so when the people around you are spazzing, they may need protein. No, I mean they do. That's not wrong. Okay, so let's move into Merlin and the horse. So this is also going to be your favorite thing to hear because this is you asking for help and actually taking it. This is you understanding you don't have to do everything by yourself. But here's the thing, and this is like the catch with the horse card, right? If you've been surrounded by people who are like kind of purposely incompetent because you do all the work for them anyway, and if you are so very competent that you are also now in a place where you'd rather do it yourself because you just don't have the fucking patience. It's kind of like, when you have kids, if you have kids, or if you've, been around a small child that you're doing something with, and they're like, oh, can I help you do that? And you're like, it's a skill you probably should learn, but my patience level is like not high today. Um, and I know you're going to mess it up and make it take longer, and then I'm going to clean up after you. So I'm just going to do it myself, and you don't get to have this experience. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of energy where it's like, I could, but then it's taking too much time out of my day, and I'm much better at doing it anyway. If you are that person, this is for you because you can't do everything yourself anymore because we're moving into different energy. That's an old way, right? It's time to draw competent people into your life. And this is how you create boundaries. This is how you protect yourself by only allowing competent people into your inner circle. What is a competent person? It's a person who is not relying upon your energy to run their life. It's a person who has autonomy in their own life that doesn't involve you at every juncture. It's a person who you can actually look at and say, I admire things about you. I admire some of the way that you handle things. Like, I would actually go to you for advice. Do you have anybody in your life at this time that you would actually say, like, I would go to you for advice? Or do you have a lot of people in your life who come to you for advice and you're just like, I would never ask you for advice because you're a fucking train wreck? Time to get people that you can actually delegate to so that you can breathe a little bit. And I promise you they're out there. If you don't currently have them, the reason is probably because all of your space is being taken up by people who are not competent. And as soon as you move them out of the inner circle, you can find some competency. And I will tell you right now that it is better to have no one than a bunch of incompetent people dragging you down. Okay? I promise. So ask for help. Okay. The Merlin is here too. And this is very important. And again, very collective in some ways, but also just for you. When the Merlin comes through, today especially, there is a situation in your life that is probably one of those rare occasions in human life where there is actually a very like yes or no type of situation. It's like, this is right, this isn't right. It's not always like that. It's rarely like that in life. Like, we are all about the shades of gray, right? Moving away from that duality. But there's some situation in your life where it just, you need to lay it down. This isn't right. Boom. The Merlin is coming through to support you in the carrying out of justice, whatever that means to you. You are here. You are supported in the carrying out of your justice. Okay? Something is off balance. It's off balance. And when things are off balance, they can't run properly. So, what is it? Do you already know what it is? And you are supported in the carrying out of that balancing act that then allows things to move smoothly again. I am constantly feeling during this reading like we're talking about people. So take that as it is. I don't know, but we don't always get so specific in these particular readings, but it just feels like people really losing their shit right now. Anyway, that is your chupacabra message. I hope that that was helpful for you guys. Woo! All right. So, don't go anywhere. We've got these two decks. I'm going to decide. Well, you know what? Why don't you decide? What are you feeling? I may not listen to you, but what are you feeling? You feeling Isis or Sacred Rebels this morning? Either one's going to pack a punch. Promise you that. Ooh. Reminder, my normalized magic people. We are meeting tomorrow at 9:30, not Wednesday, okay? We're going to collectively get together, spend about 30 minutes getting our shit together, and then CERN turns on the collider at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be together for that, okay? So just a reminder, Tuesday, 9:30. I'm going to send out our email, but just so you know that, okay? Sacred Rebels it is. Cassie, it's part of, it's the Normalized Magic group, so it's our coffee and coaching. So yeah, it'll be Zoom. It'll be Zoom. It'll just be like doing coffee and coaching if you've joined already, and it's just that we're meeting at a different date, on a different day. We usually meet Wednesday mornings. Yeah, tomorrow's manifestation meeting is for members of the Normalized Magic community, which is a subscription membership. If you want to join, and this, okay, so actually, this is actually a good point. Let me just pause for a second. If you are interested in joining the Normalized Magic community and you're not already part of it, it is a monthly subscription. You can cancel anytime. If you wanted to try it, today's actually a really good day to try it because you get a 3-day trial, which will allow you to join us tomorrow morning. You have to apply. I have to look over your thing. So there's a link in my profile that says apply for the Normalized Magic membership. And once you're in there, in addition to everything that's our obviously free content, I have a site called innersanctum.me, and that's a platform that has all of my things. So there's a meditation library. You will have access to all of the channelings from the previous times. And we meet every week in small groups for coffee and coaching, where you get to have FaceTime with me, ask questions, and we're a tighter group in there. It's good. So if you're interested in that, try it out. It's free for 3 days. And like I said, you'll be able to join us tomorrow. If you can't do it live, it's no problem. It's always recorded. Everything's always recorded. We got lives happening. But I'd highly recommend this would be the one. If you wanted to try the free trial, this would be the one. Because we're going to do some shit tomorrow morning. All right. Sacred Rebels. That's the one right there. This feels like more than one. It is. We have 2 cards. Holy shit. Whoa. 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 Okay. Yes, if you're interested, just go there's a link in my profile, and it'll say, "Apply for the Normalized Magic membership," something like that, and you can just go ahead and do that. Okay, yeah, it's good. I'm just gonna show you the cards, obviously. Sorry, I'm like glitching. I'm like, "Ooh, this is exciting." I just feel like this is really exciting for tomorrow. Okay, so we've got this one, which is the power of attraction. It's number 13. So we got the power of attraction, and then we have what you want wants you. Like, could these be more of like the biggest manifestation pair of cards ever? Right? Like, okay, no big deal. Ah, okay. Ugh, I know. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna read these to you. You're gonna be happy. I think you're gonna be happy. We're gonna end this Coffee and Magic with such a happy feeling. I feel like it's gonna be great. It's gonna carry you throughout the rest of your day, and then you're gonna wake up and you're gonna join Normalized Magic tomorrow, and we're all gonna be one big happy family. And fuck the patriarchy. Okay, power of attraction. There is such wonder awaiting you. There are so many beautiful adventures and so much magic yet to be. Can you keep your heart open to what is coming towards you without surrendering your experience of this moment by becoming too future oriented? Sure. You see, there is magic in this moment too. There is something arising within you out of the depths of your being. In this process, there is a shift in environment, both internal and external. A fertility is being stimulated. This is your time to play with that fertility, to conceive, create, and embark upon the process of transformation with an open heart and mind. You may not know where it is all going to lead. All you need to know is that it will be wonderful and exactly perfectly what is needed. Beyond that, allow the energy of fertile growth and abundance that now flows so naturally and richly within you and around you simply to be. You are a big soul, and with that often comes big dreams. You might worry that you want too much out of life. Perhaps you think that you are only capable of small dreams. If you have drawn the oracle of big, bold vision as well, then this part of the message is highlighted for you. You haven't, but don't worry about it. A house cannot be built without the flooring. No matter how beautiful the stained glass windows you plan to install are, the walls need to be up first. Your big life dreams are a work in progress. You have recently completed a cycle or level of manifestation and are transitioning into the next level of experience. Like a big fish leaving the small pond and feeling rather like a small fish in a bigger pond, there will be some getting used to time needed as you find your way. This will add to what you have already done and bring valuable expansion to your realization of your abilities, as well as many new relationships and opportunities to help you go further on your journey. You are going to attract whatever is needed to complete your work in progress and bring it to fruition. Remain open to receive and trust in the unfolding of your life experiences. Do not turn away. All of the necessary elements are coming together. Allow this integration to occur so that you can manifest your dreams. So that's the first one. That's the power of attraction. All right. Are you ready for the next one? What you want wants you. Do you dare to believe that what you want is also wanting you? The genuine desires of your heart are the sacred purpose of the soul, swathed in pleasure. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged, made to feel guilt over, or denied your natural desires or pleasures in any way, you may have developed a very tricky and complicated relationship with the yearnings of your heart. We often learn to distrust our own desires and come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. We may even try to want second best, disbelieving that we are worthy of our first choice of what we really genuinely want and would fulfill us deeply. Perhaps we have conditioned ourselves to believe that getting what we want is for others, not us. This oracle comes with a message. First, trust in what you truly want, not the substitutions and make do's, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment to your life. You might not know anything more than I want to sing, or I want to write, or I want to help animals, or I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will be very much in hold on. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. Ask yourself what it is that truly moves you. Give this matter consistent attention without forcing a response. Your answers may come in a sudden flood or slowly over time. As you get to know your genuine desires and give yourself permission to feel and receive them, a powerful sequence is set in motion. From the depths of the universe, your desire hurtles its way towards you as the perfect manifestation. It is coming to you even now, manifesting itself as the best situation or relationship or circumstances to bring fulfillment to your heart, radiance to your life path, and a creative awakening. So don't give up. Keep dreaming of your fulfillment, but don't imagine it as always awaiting you in some distant future. Instead, play with what it will feel like to be so fulfilled right now. This is our perfect day exercise, guys. Will you be more grateful, more peaceful, content, more confident, more trusting of your ability to create and in the loving responsiveness of this wild universe? Cultivate those feelings. Get to feel what genuine desire and the meeting of that desire that can then generate yet new desire is like for you. Give yourself permission to go there right now. Remember that if you have people in your life who are shutting you down, suggesting that what you want is not possible or that you are aiming too high, then they need this healing too. This will naturally open them to the idea that they could give themselves permission to know and fulfill their unique desires too. Whether someone chooses to be inspired by you or to be fearful of your innate creative power is completely up to them. Whether you see it coming or not, your desire is already on its way to you. It is closer than you think, and soon you will be able to see it, touch it, feel it, and enjoy it. You will then become inspired for your next manifestation based on the true desires of your heart. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow morning for some magic making. I'm excited for that. I will be doing my homework and my work today, which is to feel into that which brings me joy and to create pockets of that joy anywhere that I can, in little ways. And I encourage you all to do the same. Thank you so much for being here with me on this Monday morning. I'm sending all of you so much love. We got this. It's going to be a day, and we're going to seize it. I'll see you tomorrow. Again, if you're interested in joining us, you'll need to try the free trial of the Normalized Magic membership. You can find that in my profile. Just apply. I'll be checking those later. Make sure that all of you are subscribed to my mailing list because that's how I communicate time changes that happen so frequently. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Whew. Here we go.